Hey everybody, welcome back. We don't speak about the last episode, okay? You know what we could do? -6! We could do alt path, true ending stuff. There's a variety of characters in the game who we have not played as on that level yet. Like, for example, I mean, there's a lot. There's not a few. There's more than a few. What about Eve alt path? How do you feel about that? Eve alt path? This is actually, I consider this like an interesting sort of, sorry, I apologize. I might still take it. That's the worst part of it all. I consider this an interesting sort of calibration as well. Because, like, the alt path is hard. Full stop. Remember when we thought that, like, the alt path, and maybe true ending and a couple of new characters was all that was going to be in this game? I was going to say those were the days, but I really don't have nostalgia for it. The fact that we got a tainted version of, like, every character in the game, including the characters we didn't even know were going to exist in the first place, is actually, like, amazing. Like, it's one of the things that I feel like, you know, we as human beings, we get adjusted to our surroundings so quickly. And, you know, criticism is, you know, is covered under the First Amendment of the country that you likely live in. So I'm not trying to silence it. That being said, taking a little bit of heat for, like, the fact that so much of the content has been, repentance. There's a fairness to that, don't get me wrong. Like, I was looking at a graphic and it was like, look at how much repentance there is. And there was a lot of repentance, but there were also, you know, 8 videos over the course of 4 days that were not repentance. I'm not saying that's a bounty of content, I'm just saying, like, I mean, we're mixing it up on a level here. But the reason we're playing so much repentance is very much not, like, the beating of a dead horse. It's that if you know, put this back into the context of, if you'll excuse me, Secret Room. I am the greatest man who ever lived. Sleep tight in your cot. That's right. I know old/bad Weezer. Tractor beam, maybe? I've already been in here. I don't know why I thought tractor beam was possible. Ooh, the coupon. But yo, it was 99 cents. Okay, hold on. Yes. Yes. Not my finest move, but that's fine. We're gonna keep the coupon because it's really good. So, you know, the fact that that gives us 2 spirit hearts is totally fine. We don't need the coupon for anything else just yet. Anyway, long story short, you gotta remember that, you know, we're dealing with a situation. I can't. And that's not anti-Zane. It's just literally, like, if we go alt path, like, this is... They're basically giving us an item that's like, you die. And then everyone goes, go ahead, say it, say the line, Bart. What if you get tractor beam? Okay, well, if we get tractor beam, it'll be a great clip farming moment right now, but we don't have to worry about that just yet because the odds of it are quite low. The reason we're playing so much repentance is not like, oh, I gotta play so much repentance because, you know, it pays the bills. First off, it's a great game. But secondly, it's, you know, substantially larger in scope than anybody expected. I was watching Cobalt actually talk about, like, you know, why he's been playing, or like what his repentance marathon was like, and we got a similar experience, although he went obviously like 3 times harder at launch. It was like nobody knew that the game was gonna be that big, right? So they, you know, Cobalt I think planned that maybe it would take him like a week or a week and a half to get through all the content, and instead when it comes out they're like, oh, you actually, like, every character in the game now has, like, another character in the game with a completely empty post-it note. And it's a good thing. But it is, I understand that there's a lot of repentance, don't get me wrong. Regardless. I'm feeling like this run has alt path potential. I'm realizing now I should not have fought here. Because we could have gotten a coupon for free devil deals. But I'm also realizing that maybe we do want devil precedent anyway by taking a devil deal so that we can kind of keep Whore of Babylon rolling along here. I don't think this is necessarily a huge cost. I think that it would have been nice. The beauty of having... This is really good. Am I insane? This is awesome with what we're trying to do, right? Because we'll get more magic skin, don't get me wrong, which is not necessarily what we might be looking for, but the ability to create empty heart containers, assuming they work the way that you would expect them to work, which is they would not ruin Whore of Babylon for you, means we can take HP, knowing that we're going to oh, thank you. By the way, Dad's Ring, pretty good item to begin with. And then we use it on... Was it this secret room pool that gave us access to Dad's Ring there? I'm trying to think. But anyway, we can... This means we should be able to pick up the HP on the boss room. We'll stay in Whore of Babylon state, I think. But we can at least get the value of the item. Thank God that there is... Oh my God! Oh, that's good, man. That is good. Oh, we are laughing. That is hilarious. I have to contextualize this moment. Give me a sec. So, by the way, we probably should have taken Magic Skin, bought a battery charge, but now we really want Tractor Beam. So, first off, Dunce Cap in your first item room is kind of a hilarious low roll, but we weren't sweating it. But then to roll into a shop, I can't believe the power of comedic timing. To roll into a shop, or an item room, sorry. The left item is Strange Attractor, bad item. One of the worst in the game, I would say, in terms of like taking a good run and possibly putting it into question. And then the other one is Tiny Planet, an item of essentially the same caliber, maybe even a little bit more dangerous. The odds of that are not high, but that is quite humorous. That is quite humorous indeed. That's why I said we are laughing. I can't be mad. It's actually funny, and I don't mean like oh, it's amusing how the game's screwing me. I mean like for me, it's like laugh out loud hilarious that the odds played out in that way right after I said, thank God we have a question mark here. Anyway. This run is still, the other funny part of it, maybe the reason I'm able to laugh, is that we're really not in a horrible spot, all things considered. You know, our damage is fine. I really do. Hey, no thank you. I really do think we have a pretty great thing going for us in the in the form of like Magic Scab combined with being Eve. Totally forgot we had the bird, by the way. Hey, drop a fry. Hey, drop a fry. I should have dodged that one. That one hurts. Let me see what we got here. I think you coupon. That's great. And then you take the other one. It's fine. Like, we're not trying to finesse Mega Satan or anything. Dude, this is totally okay. Okay. So what do you do? Oh, wait. With Magic Skin, we kind of need HP. I don't know. Magic Skin legitimately might kill us if we don't have a red heart. So now it becomes an interesting question. I think we got to use some comparative analysis here. That hurts. Would you rather hold coupon or use Magic Skin in the future? Let's go left here. The devil you know is better than the devil you don't. It's a tough call. It's not an easy call. Magic Skin, we can generate an item from any pool, but you have to remember the coupon is basically generating an item from the Deal with the Devil pool every time we get a Deal with the Devil. So there might be a little lower access. But there's higher, yield, I think? I don't know, though. It's a tough decision. I think we really got to play our cards right on this run. Our HP is probably lower than you would expect. Our damage is really nice, no doubt about that. Keep in mind we need to save 2 bombs. That helps, honestly. We're trying to get to a second secret room, just in the hopes that there's some spirit hearts in there, and that's beautiful. Gotta remember, Dad's Ring is insanely powerful, but also it's a little bit dangerous. Here's what I think we do, and it's spicy, don't get me wrong. First thing, you find the white fire. Thankfully, our speed is quite high. Because we do want the key piece. I said we want the key piece. White fire? White fire? Is there a white fire somewhere? I didn't extinguish it, did I? I'm just gonna check, like, the shop. Maybe it could be in the shop? Maybe it could be in the item room? If I blew it up by accident, we're in the mix here. But you know what? It's probably here. This is, like, the one room I didn't check. Yep. And, okay. I think, and it's a little spicy... But I think we might want to try to fight the boss. Safe in the knowledge that... No, I regret it. We're not going to fight the boss. Just this room scares the crap out of me, and this room is not even... is but a brief glimpse into what the boss room would be like. We can't take this. It could be paralysis. Don't you... I'm upset. I'm actually mad. Because I think that run could have been fun. We had a great thing going on. Why am I mad? Well, I'm mad at myself, but I'm also, I mean, like... It's just the alt floor. It's gonna happen. The number of times... I don't know, like, to be honest, if there's ever been... a more annoying way to die. Why not? Than getting smacked into a spike rock as the Lost. And it's happened to me like 7 times in Repentance's release. It's okay, you know, we'll persevere. Nice to see some elements from the last run have stayed around, like that luck down pill. I think that's mighty nice. I have often said luck is an overrated stat, I suppose, and I guess that the game decided, you know, it's time for him to put his money where his mouth is. That one hurt, though, because, you know, I feel like I've been deprived. You might see it as me depriving you. I don't see it that way, but I feel like I've been deprived of a potentially hilarious yet impressive victory. Nice. They recently upgraded the laser targeting on those spiders. I mean, that's what you get when you go down to half a heart to pick up something like, you know, broken jawbone or whatever the item's called. That's what you get when you let your heart win. Whoa. I feel like I haven't seen Fat Odd Mushroom too regularly in Repentance. This is it's a bit of a rarity these days. Now, I'm actually pretty stoked. So, and people in the comments have made this very clear. The number of times you want to pay or play the Eddy room, also known as the Sacrifice room, is 7 per floor. If possible. You know, I mean, it's a heavy cost, don't get me wrong. But it's 7 per floor. So, at 7, you either get 7 Spirit Hearts or 30 cents. Both of which are fairly sizable rewards. And we're already at, like, I think 5 potential plays. And that's ignoring the rewards that we might get either from the boss or alternatively from our first 5 plays as well. We might have to fight an angel statue on 6, I think, which is dangerous, you know, when you're playing as Eve and it's the first floor. But either of these rewards, you know, would potentially pay enormous dividends, potentially. Potentially, that is. 7 Spirit Hearts, or I think you can also get an angel deal. That's fine. Like, an angel item is a substantial bonus. Okay, so that's 4 plays. Maybe, and it's modestly dangerous, but at 4 plays, this will be a secret room. We'll blow you up as well. That's nice. We should fight the boss while we're powerful. Get the reward, which... It would actually be totally fine. It's a little dangerous, but it would be totally fine if we just got like an HP upgrade, or even like an HP upgrade that gave us full HP here. I don't know if that's... I'm trying to go through the item pool in my head for bosses and see if that could actually be something that could come to fruition. I'm not gonna worry about it right now. I mean, this is... And I'm setting us up here for comedic timing, no doubt about it. if you're planning on going to the alt path and you're planning on riding the lightning like we're doing right now on like 1 HP for as long as possible, you really gotta embrace the fact that you gotta be able to beat the Haunt. If you can't beat the Haunt, you got bigger fish to fry. But we also had great damage, so, you know, it's a glass houses situation. Okay. We feel blessed. Are the forgetful, for they get the better even of their blunders? I think that's 5 plays. Mathematically, right now, we can't do 2 more plays. However, we're not too far off. That was a much better choice down here. What? I'm just gonna call that a bit of a low roll, but life goes on, you know? We got a shop coming up, we got 5 cents. We should be able to buy a heart. It would be awesome, if possible, to get a, like a red heart here. I don't think we're getting bad luck. I mean, we got an HP upgrade on this floor that made that sacrifice room plausible to begin with. I really like the idea. I mean, they did a really good job on, fixing sacrifice rooms, I think. There's still, like, a risk-reward associated with them, but it's much better than it used to be. So this will be play 6-7, I think. Like, now it feels like on the first floor with a little bit of elbow grease and maybe a slight bit of luck, you can really set yourself up for greatness in the future. So that was our 7th play. We got Delirious, which I think is not really that good, to be honest. But it's not horrible. We need a key for alt path. We also wish to stay alive, I think, so... I mean, I don't know. I might actually be of the opinion that the Razor Blade is better here. We don't need a key piece, so, like, I don't think it's worth taking the finesse out of it here. Yeah, I hate to say it, man. After all that we've been through, we'll just chalk this up as, like, you know, pain. But it happens. I'm not mad. I will say there's one other thing here. This could be second secret room. Good choice. If it was a bunch of red hearts, which sadly it was not, we would have probably been a little bit more open to maybe getting a couple of key pieces. I guess we don't have to go down on this floor. We could go down on the next floor, but so be it. We're already here. Anyway, still going strong. 100% chance of a deal with the devil on this floor. Is that what we want? It's always worth thinking about. I mean, when you hold Razor Blade, I think Akeldama is actually pretty good. You gotta get over the fact that the right item could be anything. It could even be Akeldama. But I think that, well, let's just take ourselves up on this opportunity here. If you stick with the Razor Blade, you could take deals with the Angel. Because you can always create your own, Whore of Babylon status. And it is a relevant item to stay aware of, for sure. The flip side of that, though, is, you know, if you take deals with the devil, you don't always have to worry about it. It kind of handles itself, as long as you spend the optimum amount of HP. Like, I mean, as Eve, I guess my thinking, and this goes, like, way back, this is not necessarily, like, a recent innovation, but if you're not going to be using your Red Heart containers anyway, why wouldn't you just sell them to a deal with the devil? Not for nothing, but, you know, for something of a decent amount of value. So, I mean, we'll probably at least look in the room, and then, you know, if we get deals with the Angel or deals with the devil in the future, maybe it's kind of, you know, 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. It's an English idiom that just means, you know, I mean, 6 is equal to half a dozen. I'm not sure if that's apparent. Dozen is kind of weird. And then you don't even get me started on the baker's dozen, which is 13 for some reason. I guess the insinuation is that bakers are not good counters. I didn't say it. That was said by the person who invented the idiom and the people who popularized it. Don't blame me. Don't shoot the messenger. Okay, golden bombs are always lovely. Keep those moving in there. Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna go to the other side then. You've decided you don't want me on the left. I'll be your right side dancing partner here. Easy money. Alright, now we got momentum again. Tears up. Always beautiful. I don't know what you do. So that means, by law, I must get it. And this is what I'm actually gonna look up. Bloody Gust Isaac. I got it for, like, Samson alt path, I think. When Isaac takes damage, he gains speed and tears for the rest of the floor. Okay. So it's... yeah, alright. It's Bloody Lust. But for tears and speed. There's some irony here, right? Because now I'm like, it's a Gift of the Magi situation where I gave up HP in order to pick this up. But in order to make it work, I need to take damage. Now, I mean, we could clearly just... Let's see if we can make a blood bank on the next floor. We could clearly just take damage. You know, we don't need any help in that department. Let's put it that way. But on top of that, like, it would be nice to have another HP container now so that we could actually... like, use the razor blade and maybe make it work? The speed upgrade at some point, like, is gonna be immaterial. However, the tears upgrade, I think it stacks, it said like a maximum of like a 1 tier bonus per floor or something. I don't think you can really build around it, but it might be a reasonable, like, bonus. All that being said, I think I do have to acknowledge, for 2 hearts, it seems like a high price to pay, but you gotta get some experience with the item. We just unlocked it. To that extent, let's go ahead, let's take a stab in here, man. Don't give me a bad trip. That's fine. His bombs are very easy to predict. Very, very rarely do I find myself destroyed by them. Okay. Well, I feel more powerful already. I will say, for all the positive stuff I said about Repentance, and I'm definitely not one of those guys, like, you see them on the internet, they're called people who review anything. For every one thing positive they say, they feel like they have to say 5 negative things, otherwise it's not a balanced portrayal. I'm calling it like I sees it. And I sees it like Repentance is a very, very, very well done piece of DLC. On a minor level, I don't like what they've done with the boss trap rooms. So much harder to get into a boss trap room now. Whoa! Okay. I feel like the way that it worked before, I was never like, oh, we're getting so... Okay, now we're talking. I was never like, we're getting so overpowered because of these, boss trap rooms. Like, life is too easy. So we should probably, by the way, once we find some red hearts here, which now seems pretty likely, we should take damage deliberately. Now, I didn't want to take damage there. That was accidental on purpose. That being said, it is nice to get the permanent tears bonus from taking that hit. Because that's how Brittle Bones works. Which, admittedly, I don't say, like, maybe you didn't know that to be insulting, but really, I didn't know that for a long time. The possibility to... We didn't have any HP to begin with, so to be able to leverage it for some tears ups is actually, you know, potentially quite conducive to getting some serious victory here. Synth Oil's obviously amazing. I don't know how any of these are gonna work at all. At all. But hear me out here, okay? I'm gonna at least blow myself up, like, a couple times here. I don't know if they will let us take ABADDON. That's fine. If they hadn't, then we would have still had Bone Hearts, we would have had the HP to work with, right? If they did let us take it, which they did... Oh, you know what? I'm realizing now that... And it's not a huge deal, but ABADDON has been changed, clearly, so that it, kind of stinks. It's been changed so that, I guess you only get the amount of Demon Hearts that you put in Red Hearts. Whoops. Either way, like, we're still super strong right now. Still gonna be tough to make Bloody Gust work, but I have entered the curse room for reasons unbeknownst. Certainly, I'm trying to remember, and It's weird boss that does, he jumps at the end. That's how I remember him. I don't need to know what his name is. I know the sound it makes when it takes a man's life. Just live through this room before you get too cocky, I guess. I think that we should fight the boss. One of the reasons we should fight the boss is because I think we can easily kill him. The other reason we should fight the boss is because with amnesia, I have no idea where I'm going. As a result, I pretty much guarantee we're going to encounter the boss room. And then we might as well go through with the... Ay. Owns? Okay. I don't really like tapeworm. I don't like anything that messes with shot height. And our range is not even, like, it's never entered my mind as it being a possible negative right now. Here's one thing I will say. Now is probably the right time to start thinking about... Don't do me like this. Now is probably the right time to start thinking about stacking HP so that when we have to go down the alt path from the mines, we're not roasted and toasted, you know? Anyway, Spirit Heart, very nice. Another tiers upgrade. Keep in mind, we're not going to have 8 tiers forever, but we should still have like 5, I think, or maybe even a little more when we go down to the next floor. I recognize we're 26 minutes into this episode. It's a little on the longish side for us to be exiting the 3rd floor. But that's repentance, baby. You want something... Whoops. You know, I guess... You want something done right, you gotta do it yourself, slowly, or something like that. Okay, 2 bombs. Drop them in there. Get the heck out of town. Magic Mush, thank you, appreciate it. That one's for the audio-only listeners out there. Oh, this is actually a message that must be responded to. Give me one moment. So I apologize for the radio silence, but it's not an urgent message, but it does bear responding to. All right. We are moving on here. I think at this point... We definitely want Bookworm. I don't think we care about the Razor Blade. There's something to be said. Like, Book of Shadows is probably better. But what about Book of Sin, man? What about Book of Sin in this situation? What about just generating... You know, my hope and dream is to generate, like, as many... Spirit Hearts as possible. The percentage chance of getting in here is not going to be amazing, but, like... We might as well keep it moving. Torn card, death awaits. I don't know what this does. So I'm going to not do it. Because here's the thing. If it had any... Oh, jeez Louise. If it had any description besides mentioning the word death awaiting us, I might be a little bit more amiable. However... I think that we have to be a little smarter here. There's no shortage of stuff in Repentance that's like, hey, take this to die. So I think that I stand by my decision there. Hoping this is a Demon Judgment. Wouldn't that be something? If your kid was a minion. Okay, individual pennies. Not a huge fan, but life goes on. Demon Judgment, not a Demon Judgment. So get exploded. Soul of Lilith is a permanent familiar. The fact that it's able, you know, hey man, here's the thing. 2 seconds ago, I didn't have it. And it cost us nothing to get it. So it's not the best that you could get, but it could be worse. We could have not gotten it at all. 'Tis better to have Lilith and lost than to have never Lilith at all. I've always said that. Ever since watching... the Nicolas Cage, Meg Ryan movie, City of Angels, where he doesn't want the world to see me because he don't think that they'll understand. but when everything's made to be broken, he just wants her to know who he is. It's a touching story, right? Also, in my opinion, a searing indictment of how John Rzeznik, the lead singer of the Goo Goo Dolls, feels about planned obsolescence. When everything's made to be broken, I mean, there's a guy who knew something about planned obsolescence before it was on most people's lips. So we got the Intruder. I think, like, when we get hit, we create a spider head. I don't know. It seems... I think it's good. Whenever anybody asks me how I feel about the item, I'm like, I like it. I don't exactly know what it does, though. HP is gonna be... Like, this is actually a little spicy. Our HP is at a bit of a premium. I'm gonna take. I want to just see how this affected us. -3 damage. The speed is not that consequential necessarily. We can always get that back by getting hit a little bit more, but I think we're still... That hurt. We're still very strong. And I'm hoping this is a temporary... I wouldn't even call it a setback, because we're getting the HP out of it. It's a temporary lateral move in order to get stronger later. And that's... It factors into the same boat, quite frankly. I'm not upset about that in the slightest. Love coming into these rooms, because we get the opportunity to... you know, productively maybe pick something up, but also get the temporary stat boost from Bloody Gust. Which I don't want to... Let's not even talk about the implications of the name of that item. Hello, Dunce-Cap. Look, now that's redemption. That is redemption right there. It's interesting, right? So Converter's really good now. But probably not as Eve when you're trying to make Whore of Babylon work, I think. I think in that oh, very poorly placed. In that situation, you're better off doing it the old-fashioned way. Just trying to make it work. That hurts. We did make Intruder for a second, though, so hey, we're learning. Hey, and now that I think about it, I guess we did get the stat bonus as well, so there is that. Okay. Let's do this before I forget. This is, you know, learn something, I'd say, is probably the best way to describe this, you know? It's better for us to... If we see a chore, it's better to do it right away than to let it simmer. I was talking about it with Dan. I know this is, like, probably one of my favorite topics to talk about that annoys people the most is, you know, oh, I got it all figured out. Oh, I'm so smart. But in my defense, it does feel great to talk about. No, I procrastinate from time to time. Don't get me wrong. Sometimes I think you gotta diagnose in yourself whether you're like procrastinating because you're just kind of being lazy about something, or you're procrastinating out of like self-care. Like in adult life, I'm not saying this is like streamer life, like streamers are the only people that are busy, but in adult life, you know, you might unexpectedly have like 4 responsibilities that end up stacked on a single day. Some of them are urgent, some of them are non-urgent. To push the non-urgent stuff off for a day or two in order to handle other stuff so that you can actually, like, you know, get a good night's sleep and not hate yourself. That's productive procrastination. But I was talking about it with Dan. Hey. And now I've forgotten the spirit of the bit entirely. Okay, barely made it there, but I'll take it. But I think, like, when you see something like this, it makes sense to do it right away instead of being like, oh, maybe we'll get stronger later. The number of runs that I've accidentally ruined just being like, no, we don't do that first. We do the boss first. Doesn't make any sense. It actually makes even less sense than I originally thought, too, because of the fact that we actually get stronger by doing it because we gain the knife, which is actually, like, probably, like, minimum B-tier familiar. Which is why they take it from you. They don't want you to get strong. This is good. This is good. You're gonna get toasted. You will be destroyed. Torn photos, fine. It still took it. It would be nice if it didn't, but whatever. Okay. Yeah. We're down to the next floor. I think we're good. Okay, let me check on that message there. Mausoleum 1. The only thing I'm concerned about right now is, our HP. I thought we... Yeah, what? Where did that pill come from? I probably picked it up literally like half a second ago, so I apologize, but... I'm concerned about our HP. That concern doesn't mean, like, it's pressing, like it's an immediate, something that we absolutely have to handle, in the moment, or we're screwed. I don't believe that. Oh my god. Oh my god. This guy is extremely annoying. I wouldn't get too attached to that deal with the devil. But it does mean, like, the predominant concern, thank you, Holy Mantle, is more about the fact that I have to, lose these red hearts at some point to get a permanent Whore of Babylon going on, but we didn't have enough spirit hearts to back it up. Now that has fallen to the wayside a little bit, I'm gonna be honest, I actually think that I'm really coming to terms, that, I mean, the fact that it gives us temporary Whore of Babylon status, because I'm not going to pick that red heart up. I think we have 2 containers right now. I don't know if bone hearts count. What is wrong with me, dude? Never mind, I'm a genius. Half a heart, right? This is probably not killing me. But I've come to terms with the fact that I think Guppy's eye is actually a pretty great item. The meat and potatoes is not as originally anticipated, the ability to see inside of chests. The meat and potatoes is being able to see which blue fires will pay out with spirit hearts. And maybe, I guess, like, if we get skulls, or, like, can mushrooms show us? Like, I don't know if we'll ever see another mushroom in this game as long as we live, but... Little Spewer, not good enough to take the risk. Candy Heart, I'm just gonna be honest, I don't know what it does. Probably something we should look up, but we've already looked up one item over the course of this episode that breaks my quota. So we know there's nothing in those. We don't have to concern ourselves. We know there's nothing in those. We don't have to concern ourselves. We don't have to waste our bombs. I'm gonna be interested, because, like, I mean, this is kind of, we're getting into, not marathon territory, but it's a longer run than typical. I certainly don't see this as being a guaranteed win. However, when we see where we're standing when Curse of the Unknown is done here, I think there's a really good chance we're going to be feeling strong in just about every avenue except for HP. Now, the great news is that hurts. The great news is that it's not inconceivable for a shop on the next floor or two to really sort us out in that department. You know, even something along the lines of... We already got Wafer, which is awesome. Like, one of the best defensive items you could ever ask for. But imagine, you know, just car battery 9-volt or something like that. The odds of us getting Spirit Hearts or, you know, cards that give us defense or etc. from Book of Sin, you know, goes way up. It's not doing a great job right now, but I'm trying not to hold it against it. One of the worst trade deals in the history of ever. But Champion Belt, very nice. Very nice. Very nice indeed. Let me out. You will not. You will not. And we know there's nothing in there because of Guppy's eye. Okay. Her hands are never cold. She's got Guppy's eye. You know that song? Underrated in my opinion. Betty Davis Eyes by some lady who I don't know the name of. It's one of those karaoke songs. When I lived in Korea, oh my god, my HP is horrible. Never mind, I am in a very dangerous spot. When I lived in Korea, you know, you end up going out to karaoke quite frequently with coworkers. Yeah, we take friends, etc., etc. It's kind of like it's a go-to hobby over there for recreational evenings. I don't know what any of that stuff does. I'm just gonna stop you right there. I have no clue. Mom's kiss. It's gotta be like, it's not mom's lock, which gives you gives you a mom item every room. Anyway, sorry, I haven't finished my karaoke story. You get to learn that everybody has like some karaoke habits, right? Like, the only reason I know the song Betty Davis Eyes is because one of my coworkers sang it every time we went to karaoke. You can't really blame her, you know? Everybody's got a limited oeuvre in karaoke. Take it from somebody that basically cannot sing. I'm happy to be the backup guy or the hype man on just about any song that you could imagine. When it comes to carrying the melody, it can't be done. I don't possess the vocal talent, right? I'm enthusiastic. I'm not shy about going to karaoke. I just, you know, I'm not the guy who's like, yeah, I'm gonna sing Somebody to Love by Queen or whatever. But I'll be the guy in the background where when you do, he works hard, I go, he did every day. At the end, and then you can be the Freddie Mercury. I'll do the somebody. I'm happy to be that guy for you. I think every karaoke needs a guy like that. Also had a friend when I worked in Korea. At karaoke, you would learn very quickly he was the guy who didn't take it seriously, which was fine. Don't get me wrong, but occasionally, you know, you're like, hey, we're paying like 25 cents a minute or something like that to be in here. When you put on the Beatles' Hello Goodbye, but then let's go. We gotta take right here. Like, the item on the left is very good, but the item on the right could have been anything. It could even have been Tough Love. When you put on the Beatles' Hello Goodbye, but then you just go, you say 안녕하세요, I say 안녕하세요, and then you're like, we get the joke, but you're costing us like this joke's costing the group like $3, 75 cents. I get it. Don't get me wrong, but I think we gotta get a little bit more serious. I don't know about Black Rune versus Empress here, and that's an indictment of my own knowledge, because like Empress is obviously fine. That's okay. Whereas Black Rune is like potentially amazing. I just don't know how many item pedestals we got left. Maybe Empress for like Supermom is a better play. I know it's and finding yourself in this position a little spicy, right? But we're gonna check. We're gonna check here, and we're not looking for second secret room so much as regular secret room. The run is, this would be a shame to lose, which is not to say it's unlosable. It's highly losable for real. That hurts. That hurts as well. It's genuinely highly losable. We don't have very much HP. That being said, it is winnable. And that's what'll burn me up if we don't get this one going. That's what'll burn me up. Okay, one of these days we're getting better at remembering that the foot goes 3 times. That was fine. We have to take negative. We're not gonna make Polaroid work unless you wanted to. You know what? Now I'm like, why would you ever Black Rune a damage upgrade? You have to be a fool. You have to be an idiot. Okay, good point. It's a very sensible point. I guess, especially because the only thing we could get would be Tears damage and speed. Okay, so this is going mighty well. Dude, pajamas? In aggregate, the HP saved, not from pajamas, sorry, but from blanket, the HP saved there may go on to make up the difference on this run. How cool is that? That would be a glowing endorsement of this item. Now, one thing is for certain, 2 things for sure. As Bun B said on the MIA Paper Planes remix. Now, he didn't say this part. This part is me original. If we make it to the boss, if we not on this floor, but on the next floor, we're gonna have to play well, I think. This is not one where we can just, you know, mentally idle. We're gonna actually have to use our brain, which is a scary thought. I bet there's a common question coming up, by the way. NL, what were your karaoke habits? There's not that many songs that I'm, I would say I'm adept at singing. Just, the words are never a problem. Those are all locked away easily, right? But the melody is an issue for me. But Bruce Springsteen's Born to Run, for sure, because you can do kind of like an exaggerated... we know there's nothing in there. You can do an exaggerated Bruce Springsteen impression, and like, even if it's not perfect, people are like, I get what he's going for. Very easy vocal melodies, like Duran Duran's Hungry Like the Wolf. That was a classic for me. Ouch. I maintain, by the way, there was, and thank God for the wafer, there was a one time at karaoke. Oh my God. My 67% chance of a deal with the devil. We gotta take it. We need the HP desperately right now. There was one time at karaoke, I did Born to Run, and it was so unbelievably strong. Like, I know that it's gonna be suspicious, but genuinely, I was like, this is the best I've ever sang in my entire life. Never, ever hit it again. I kept bringing it back, like, every couple of weeks. I'd be like, and then it was just a magical night where some combination of, you know, prodigious soju consumption and, you know, where my voice was feeling on that individual day happened to coalesce into a one-time, you know, magical moment. Really, really trying to keep these rotten hearts alive as long as possible. Bad Trip is an insanely amazing pill. I must have been hit by a bullet. I'll allow it, but like, Bad Trip, without exaggerating, may win us the run. We may still lose. For the record. If we win, Bad Trip is very, very likely to be a pretty pivotal element of it, I think. Also, like, you always take a look at, for me at least, you always take a look at the rap selection, the hip-hop selection. I'm not gonna say it's easier to rap, but if you can't sing, you know, and that's your starting point, I think that it's sensible for you to just try to say words, you know, quickly and with a little bit of panache. Anything where enthusiasm can win out over skill, I think, is what I'm trying to say. Unfortunately, in Isaac, that doesn't apply as much. I don't think it's a tinted rock, but we're looking. Again, I think we would be able to see it at this point. The other nice thing about Bad Trip, now that I think about it, is that, and I'm not calling a victory, just for the record, but I believe with Bad Trip... Come on, man. That hurts. That hurts. Akeldama is going to make this a real pain in the butt, huh? I believe with Bad Trip, if we trigger Whore of Babylon, we should get to stay with the Whore of Babylon for the entire fight. We gotta leave it all on the line here, man. Like, that's nice. We're not gonna end up using too many bombs in all likelihood on the boss fight, so I'm not sweating it. And I'm not in a rush, except maybe to use the bathroom. 5 bombs remain. You're really gonna put me through the ringer on this one, huh? This is my last attempt. Oh, the art of the deal. Okay. Well, here we are. Like I said, you know, we ended up not using Black Rune. I thought that was a possibility, but on the flip side, we wouldn't have used Empress either, because Bad Trip into full health is going to be our play. So that's going to be the most important thing to watch, without a doubt. But really, this is like, it's just a dodging clinic. We're going to attempt, to the best of our ability, to dodge. The knives, I really think the corner is the place to be on those. This is a nightmare. This is the worst. If you ever see this, like, you know, times are gonna be tough. By far, by the way, the best I've ever done on this. And then this is the thanks I get. I can't believe, like, I'm not asking for a staggering amount of credit, but this is the best I've ever done on this boss fight, for sure. Those dodges were very impressive by my standards. Sorry, my scale is a little bit messed up still. Oh, that's fine. I haven't found the right resolution to have the game in yet. We'll figure it out over time. But this is going actually extremely well. And the run is good, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying like, oh, it's only my dodging that's letting us get through this. But, I mean, that we lost probably about a quarter as much HP as I thought we would lose on the first phase. Now, keep in mind, with the Rodden HP here, I don't know exactly how much HP we have. All I know is at some point, Bad Trip will become full health, and then we will say, okay. It became full health, okay? Okay. I looked and I was like, this can't be right. We have 2 HP left. Then I said, you know what? Remember that they're half hearts. That was really good. I'm very proud of myself, to be honest with you. And great training. Great training for being like Tainted Lost and you know, Tainted Keeper and stuff like that. That's very helpful. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. It was a great deal. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future, and click the like button if you enjoyed the episode. I'm also live on Twitch Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. See ya!